Hi traders and welcome to the Technical Analysis Market Watch on the 22nd of March. So I've seen another big week of moves and very key levels hit again. It's been very good for trading in terms of trading zones, and the indices have hit all-time highs again. So we'll jump straight into the charts and see if we can identify any trades for today or early into next week. All right, we'll start out here with the Aussie USD, and we can see that even in intra-session, we've seen a really big move. We've tested the 66.30 at the highs, and we find ourselves trading, basically 30 points lower than that, just only a few hours later. Now, look, you can see that we obviously hit the support level again at 65, around that sort of 65.10 mark. Came off the highs right through there. Really good trading here. This was a very solid trade because we know that these boundaries are already set. We've already got very strong support and resistance bands inside what the Aussie USD has been doing. Now, today's trading, obviously a really big move up and then a subsequent sell-off. Go to the smaller time frames and you can understand how that really looked. You can see here that we hit on a 15-minute chart. You can see that we hit the 66.30 and then down she came. As soon as it did that, hit the 20 moving average, the thing we always talk about, and then down it came. So although it does look like a very exaggerated move on the daily chart, because we've got obviously a very big wick there, you can see that it was very tradable because really you had your entry points and all of it has come down in a very orderly fashion. So pretty good moves on that one. You can see that again, we are fast approaching the mid zone of that. Well, we're actually at the mid zone already. But realistically, you can see we're basically trading in between those two red lines. I'll get rid of the green one. That's probably just all that's doing is confusing you. But these are the two bands that we're talking about. Okay, so in our reality, whatever the momentum swing happens throughout the day or today's trading day or into the US session tonight, you'll be looking at just following that momentum down. If it looks like we're getting series of lower highs and lower lows in the smaller time frame, I'd be aiming for that 65 flat. And if it looks like we're starting to change around and start to kick up again, that 66 20 to 30 area is what I'd be looking for on that one. So look, a handful of pips. It's still scalping. There's no question about that. We're not looking for any big long swings or anything like that just yet because we're still stuck in a band. But the trading is definitely there for the smaller time frames. Over to the US dollar CAD, and again, this has done the same thing. It's had some very big moves this week, but it's found itself inside these bands again, and it's trading very well in terms of actually giving you an opportunity to get in, which is always what we want. We were up here only yesterday at the 136, as you can see, all the way back down to 134.50. That's a 150 point swing, which is really good trading. Really, like, it gives you a good opportunity to get in and out again with a reasonable amount of pips. You don't have to get that whole move, but look, knowing where the support and the resistance lie, it's pretty easy to trade, really. And this has been a really good one. It hit the basically the 134 50-ish area, or 60 here, right on the green line, and then bounced up, finding itself right in the middle of the zone again. So look, the trades already this week have been quite good, but this is very similar to the Aussie in the sense that if you want to trade it for the rest of the week from a scalping standpoint, you really just follow the short-term momentum. If we're getting swings up, trade it up to the highs at around that 136, and if it starts to indeed reverse from here and start to look a little bit weak, then start just aiming for that 134.60 to 50 area, and that will keep you in the bounds. We're not looking for anything more extravagant on this one until we get a daily close either above 136 or below 134.50. Pretty straightforward trading on the CAD. The US dollar yen has been the star of the show. Obviously a really big kick up move. I know a lot of people got this one because we were talking about it last week and how it bounced off that level. All it needed to do was close above the 20 moving average, which it did on Monday, and then off it went. Look, it went basically to the all-time highs again, or not all-time highs, but the highs, the most recent highs. My level was basically the 150 area, which is the level right through there. That's where I would have taken my profit, and did take some. I wasn't really interested in the 151, only because, look, it was a really good move from here already. Like, I try to keep the trading relatively tight and constrained because we are still in a scalping environment, even though We haven't really got a very big established trend, haven't had one since this one actually did the higher high, high low sequences and broke down from there. It is technically still in a high, no question about that, but when it gets to these sorts of levels, I would prefer to actually get out a little bit earlier and then look for the next opportunity. And that was a really good opportunity from there to basically this level here. For all of you who have stayed in, look, it is at this high now. We know that that was the catalyst for the reversal, so just be careful here. So if it starts to look like it's going to weaken off and turn around, maybe take some of the profit or at least break even at the very, very least. If you think that it's going to go longer, my theory would be to let it break through that level and then come back and test it from above, and that would be a whole new trade. So that's what I'd be looking for there, but really, really good trading on the yen. All right, we'll move over to the dollar index now. And you can see we've had a really, really big session on the dollar index, lows of 103.20, and we've basically pushed up all the way to 104 again. Look, it's not very far away from being an inverse, well, not inverse, sorry, an engulfing candle. And look, the session's not finished, so there's still a little bit of time for it to actually get back up there. It needs to get above the 104.20. In my mind, the 104.20 still needs to be broken on a daily chart to really emphasize where this one's going to go. If we get a break above the 104.20, I think it's a really, really big deal. And it spells some pretty good shorting on the euro especially. So we'll jump on that one in a second, but it's been a very, very strong session for it. And it's really peppering that peak there. We know there's massive resistance at that 104.20. A break of that is a very, very big deal. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that one very closely. Over to the euro. And you can see here, it's played the game very, very nicely in terms of the sells and the buys. Obviously, we hit that level at around that 109.50, which we knew was resistance, came all the way down to basically 108.50, as you can see, and then bounced off that level again and pushed all the way back up to the 109.50 like a yo-yo. It's been really, really good in terms of getting trades in and out. Like, it's got a very, very big range and has been very, very good in that instance. So what you need to be doing now is basically waiting for a reversal from this point here. It's already at the lows. And like I say, if the dollar index goes above the 104.20, you're going to see a breakdown of this level on the euro, and it's going to start pushing lower. So this level really needs to hold out if we're going to see any strength whatsoever, because if it breaks through here, there's going to probably be a little bit of trouble moving forward for this one. So look for a series of lower highs and lower lows if we get a break below the 108.50. But if it turns around and we get a series of higher highs and higher lows and it's trading above the 20 moving average again at that point and starts to trend up on the smaller time frames, the logical target's going to be that 109.50 again. So pretty straightforward trading on the euro. All right, and the last one we're going to have a look at is the US 500, another massive session. Obviously, all-time highs again. It was bolstered by the Fed talks yesterday. Look, it's done all the things it needed to do. It bounced off the 20 moving average. It's pushed to new highs again. Yeah, it makes me very nervous at these levels. It could still definitely keep going. We're certainly not going to go all bare boots on it and try and destroy it. But really, it just means to me that if we see any weakness whatsoever, I think the first point of call is the 20 moving average. I'd be looking for a move back down there. That would be ideal. If it's going to keep going, it does need to do that. We don't want to see out of control moves up, because all that does is make it crash down a lot harder when it eventually does move down. So you've got to be really careful with that. I think that if we see a series of lower highs and lower lows on a 1 hour time frame intraday throughout the US session, the 20 moving average is going to be the logical target, and it's fast approaching, probably about 100 points from that. So it's going to be a reasonable trade on the way down anyway. And then of course we'll reassess at the 20 moving average, but it's difficult to trade up here. So just keep, if you are long on it, just keep an eye on it. If any signs of weakness, and look for a reversal back to the 20 moving average. So another big week for it. Look, it's been a fantastic week's trading. I know we've had a lot of really good opportunities in the markets, and we've had some really good moves as well, all to the levels that we've been talking about. So hopefully you were able to catch some of those. Have a fantastic weekend. I look forward to seeing you all next week.